Good afternoon. It's Celeste of Astrology by Celeste. I'm so excited to be here for a cosmic conversation with Heidi Rose Robbins. Yes, I am. It's going to be so much fun. Excuse me. Come on, Mercury. Hi, Denise. So nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Hi, Ridiculisa and Ace, Simonella, and everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, it worked right away. There was no problem. I love this.
No,
Hi, Heidi.
hello. I'm going to say Moon in Capricorn, prompt and ready.
Yes, I was just looking at your chart and noticing you're a last quarter moon. So, we can get into that a little bit later. But I love what you have behind yourself. Do you do your own artwork or?
This painting has been in my family for, 50 years or something. My mother used to collect art. We lived in Fargo, North Dakota, and this one she gave to me, and I just loved it. I love the path of it. I love the color of it. And so, yeah. And then the rest are collages that I've done at Radiant Life Retreats. So,
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So, in case anyone doesn't know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself?
oh, well, first of all, Celeste, thank you so much for having me on for this conversation. I'm so happy to be with you. Yeah, I'm an astrologer. I'm a poet. I lead women's retreats around astrology and poetry and writing and group work. Yeah, and I mentor people in astrology, and I have writing groups. I'm sort of like always weaving together the things that I love.
I love that. Absolutely. And the thing I think is so cool, well, Caitlin introduced us, which was so lovely. She is such a wonderful astrologer and person. So if I see her name go by, I'll give her a shout out. But we both love the moon, and I'm an Aries moon, and you're a Capricorn moon. And what drew you? What drew you to the moon and doing
Well,
your moon memos?
yeah. No, truth be told, I was raised in esoteric astrology. So esoteric astrology has been a part of my life. And the moon holds a very interesting position in esoteric astrology. It's not, it's considered dead, you know, and so I had to go through my own journey. Really, I want to say like reclaiming the feminine and recognizing just how tender and potent and present the moon is. And at first I was a little shy about it because, again, when you're raised in a particular tradition, but it's become such a touchstone for me, and it's connected me to so many beloveds. And I've been writing these moon notes now, yeah, for 8 years. So yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, you should check out do you do it every day or
I do, yeah.
every day? Heidi has a moon note that's beautifully written. You see her poetic voice come out, helping you understand the energy of the day, which I absolutely love. I love the immediacy of the moon and the daily fluctuation. So, can you explain to people what is esoteric astrology? Did you study Alice Bailey's system? Yeah, could you explain a little bit about that?
The simplest way to talk about it, and it is a beautiful study, and I am steeped in it
Mhm.
and building new bridges to it, right? But esoteric astrology is simply, here we're all one energy. We're all particulate parts of one energy. And we're here as a collective to unfold unfold love and consciousness. We're here to continue to grow in love and consciousness. And it prioritizes the eternal part of us, the little student that goes through many lifetimes, you could say, and grows through the process. And I think esoteric astrology particularly helps us learn to love ourselves and one another in a deep and profound way. I would also just mention that in esoteric astrology, the rising sign is enormously important. It's considered like the soul's calling in a way. And there's a whole nother set of rulers with esoteric astrology that are profound when you get to study them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love the rising sign. How do you explain it to people?
Well, in the Bailey books, it's said that the rising sign is the sun of possibility, and the sun sign is the sun of probability.
Oh, okay.
Of the rising sign as what is rising in us, and I
Hmm.
like to think of it as a vehicle for our greatest gift. And in traditional astrology, we talk about the rising sign as we look like this, we walk in a room like this. It has a lot to do with persona. But I don't think the true power of the rising sign really clicks in until we're ready to offer our gift to the collective. And not everyone is ready to do that. Not everyone is interested in that per se.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm a Cancer rising, and I really feel that energy, my soul rising up into that and being the best of myself on the high road that I can be. But yeah,
Yeah,
all the energy comes out. Hmm.
your progressed sun move into Cancer in the last bit of time, right? So
Yes.
did you find that it amplified that rising for you? I mean,
Absolutely. Yes. My son went into my progressed sun. And for anybody who doesn't know, progressions they're theoretical, but they take your natal chart and progress it out into the future, and the sun moves a degree a year in progressions, and only it changes signs a couple of times in your life. And it was back in 2019 when my progressed sun went from Gemini into Cancer, and in my 12th house, and the 12th house of solitude. What a profound shift. Absolutely full change of my personality. Exactly, my identity. And I started studying astrology seriously back then, and it just changed my whole life, and leaning into my intuitive self. Yeah, it changed my whole personhood changed when my son changed signs. Hmm.
love that so much. And I would add to that my sun changed into Gemini in 2017.
Oh.
That's actually when I started writing the moon notes. So, and it was started, the podcast and everything. So it was this profound, like, build bridges, message. So and it's so amazing in adulthood when we get to experience that shift of the progressed sun, because I do think it is profound. And yeah, in your case, didn't you build a whole business around spirituality and around astrology and quietly building your lighted house, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It was like, what did I want to grow in my life? Cancer energy is so fertile. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I was like, I just couldn't take it anymore. I left my corporate career behind in 2021, and I just knew it was time to move on from something more soulful, and living my true authentic self. So absolutely.
Wow. And then I also just think it must be, I was curious for you, like, now there's another amplification with Jupiter in Cancer on your rising sign. So, like, outgrowing a self in a way, right?
Hmm. Yes, I'm loving it. And I keep having to tell myself to stop. Like, okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, I'm a Taurus sun, and I have Saturn on my sun. Plus, I have a Virgo South node. So I have a lot of earth energy in my chart. So there is this desire for constant doing that I'm always fighting against, and it's this learned behavior. But I'm trying with Jupiter in Cancer to take a step back and take the load off, put my baggage down, to say, and be more in flow, and yeah, just growing and taking time to allow, because when I just let quiet come, and I get so much information that I feel like is really helpful to myself and others. But when I'm constantly doing, this is like this fight I have within myself. It makes it really hard. So I'm trying to delegate and not let go of control is my biggest problem.
Why we're going to be friends now, because I'm doing the same thing. My progressed just moved into Pisces, and
Mm.
my little Capricorn moon is going like, but aren't I supposed to be, still climbing and everything else? Like, no, just chill, lie down on the earth, take a breath.
Exactly. Just be, relax. And I keep saying, okay, nothing else goes on the plate. Nothing else goes on the plate. And then something's on the plate. The plate is full, both figuratively and literally. Okay, it's true when Jupiter goes into your sun or rising side, it can also like literally expand not just your mind, your opportunities, but also your physical body. So I'm so proud of myself. I went to Trader Joe's today. I didn't get any snacky snack stuff, all just good, healthy food.
I'm hearing your Venus and Mars in Gemini, like the delight. I don't know. It's beautiful. I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's true. It's true that Jupiter does expand it all. But actually, I was listening to Jason Hawley talk about Cancer and Capricorn recently, and
Ah.
simple, but it really spoke to me, where he just said that Cancer has so much to do with the being and Capricorn has to do with the becoming. And so for me, with a Capricorn moon, I'm always like, well, what am I becoming next? And what's my business becoming? But this feeling of the feeling sensitivity and the beingness of Cancer and the inner quiet that's possible is such an invitation. And I'm always alternating between the two because I've got Jupiter in Cancer and a moon in Capricorn. So I'm always like, am I being? Am I becoming? Am I both?
I
Yeah.
love that. And I was going to ask you about your Jupiter return. So, Jupiter is stationing for everybody. Well, this is a big transit. Jupiter is stationing on Tuesday to go retrograde at 25 Cancer. So, you can look at where it is in your chart and you get this amplification of this Jupiterian energy in that place. So, since it's in your 12th house as a Leo rising. How is this showing up for you?
Yeah, well, I've been thinking recently, I've gone back to the previous Jupiter returns, and I have realized that at every Jupiter return, a pretty profound teacher or female teacher has entered my life. So obviously I'm a teacher as well, but it's like I have been a student at the times that Jupiter has returned, and I've been a student ultimately, I would say, to the divine feminine. And so I'm definitely feeling that. And a very interesting double Cancer woman entered my life this summer who teaches about power and love. She's not an astrologer, but she's quite potent. And so I was noticing that. And I also am noticing that I have now slowed down enough, like you and I are talking about, like go, go, go. I've now quieted down enough that the whole realm of mythology and storytelling is entering my life. And it's so moving to me because it's like I'm quiet enough to be told a story and I'm weaving it into the astrology in a new way. And it's really touching me. So those are two things that I'm definitely noticing.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Ah, yeah, you've got it's making your grand trine in water.
I,
So we've got planets in each of the water signs right now. And it's beautiful. You can see how people are being more generous and there was this guy who like started a food bank and on his front lawn and just took it amongst himself because of the SNAP benefits being cut off and people are coming to help and give money and it's just this thing growing, which is so Jupiter and Cancer. And there's planets in Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, and you have this in your chart. So how do you manage this energy of it's a beautiful thing to have a grand trine, but it also can be a lot because I know a lot of people are getting emotionally kind of swept away. So any advice you have?
but side note, I still hold out hope for our country in the sense that Jupiter in Cancer is in the sign of the United States. So
Mhm.
I feel like first it's magnifying all the maybe disruptive feeling, but it's going to stay there till next summer. And I feel like some of these things that you're talking about, like feeding those that need to be fed, and that we get to grow, I hope, into the beneficent nation we can be, you know? And so I am holding out hope for our country with Jupiter and
Right.
Cancer. But I would say of my water trine, you know, I love writing poetry. I love
Mm-hmm.
I love working with women to show up authentically. Um, I love writing practice. I love sitting with my clients and being in a listening, receiving, intuitive mode. And of course, you know, I love being a sad girl now and then, and just you know, like it's hard. But you know, I love the idea of being able to sit with and ride the feeling life without it taking over. Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Possible to love and acknowledge the richness of the feeling life without it drowning us, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
Rumi's poem, The Guest House, you know, invite in sadness and grief, and, you know, let them sit at your table and then show them the back door, right? Like let it keep coming through. So I love that grand water trine. I do feel like it helps my little Capricorn moon, which can be so angular, you know.
Mm-hmm. 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 Were there tools that you use when you feel like the emotions, like especially when you were younger, the emotions getting too big and feeling too much and feeling the world? Like how do you have any tools to keep your energy flowing?
Yeah, when I was little, I had a lot of stomach aches, I tell you, that
Oh, yeah.
kind of thing. But I would say my tools now are writing, because what I do is I show up on the page,
Mm-hmm.
I tell the truth, and if you look at like most of my poems, they go from a state of wretchedness, you know, and despair to a state of presence and openness, right? So writing for me is a healing tool. Um, I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but like like once my teacher Sophia, she once said like, pretend your hands are covered with paint, and once a day cover your entire body with that paint, and like let it be love touching your body. And I
Oh.
respond to like almost like a gravity blanket or touch that's just quiets me down. You know, it's
Mhm.
I respond to that. Sometimes I tell my husband, I'm just like, press my shoulder into, you know, or press my chest, you know, because it feels relieving. Um,
I love that.
I kickbox.
Okay, I love that. So you're using all the elements. So you kickbox, you get your energy moving, and in a way that expresses your Mars energy. Wait, let me see. Where's your Mars? Oh, you have Mars in Libra. Ah, that's cool. Yes, and then that touch, that earthy, like bringing yourself, that helps you bring yourself down, and the writing, yeah, the air, bringing that in, getting that expression out. I love writing too, so we have that in common, absolutely. So these are
What
things, yeah, I think people will take something from this and they'll be like, oh, I'll try this. And it's an amazing, and this time for all of us, I feel like the world we cannot control, but what we can control is tools and things to help ourselves stay more grounded or present or whatever we need. Yes. And the simpler the tool, the more, sometimes the more effective it can be.
exactly? And you know, lately I've also just been there's a poem about not taking a walk but giving a walk.
Oh.
And I love this idea of giving a walk, so that we're so deeply connected to the earth that our Pisces little feet are blessing the earth and we're receiving from the earth, and like slowing down to walk and slowing down to be connected to the vitality of the earth. Like I've been just these simple things like you're saying, Celeste. It's like Can I stop? Can I walk for 5 minutes with that idea in mind? Can I allow myself to be replenished? Can I allow myself to feel my own walk as a blessing walk? Yeah.
I I love that. I'm going to do that on my next dog walk. And something I've been doing, especially, I was such like a podcast junkie and constantly listening to stuff, wanting to learn stuff with my Mars and Venus and Gemini. I have 4 air planets. And I've been doing silence. Like I ran errands today. I didn't turn the radio or the podcast on. I just let myself be, and I found there's so much noise, like letting some of that come down can be really, silence can really help us too.
You know, what's interesting about that in esoteric astrology, the planet that is the soul-centered ruler of Cancer is Neptune. And while Neptune does rule music and poetry, I think it also rules silence. I think it's that spaciousness and that quiet, it's you and I are sort of switching positions because I love silence. I never listen to podcasts. And then like in the last month, I'm like, oh, there's so many good podcasts.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the moon and the different through the different signs and any wisdom you'd like to share with people. Why don't we go through the signs about how to manage or tools with your moon when just to make ourselves feel more centered or alive or nourished. How about nourished? That's a great word. But so for Aries, my Aries moon, any suggestions?
Like pause, breathe, like let the fire grow without blowing wildly on it. I mean, honestly, it's just the pause, I think, is the best thing for an Aries moon, is just sit yourself down and breathe.
I love that because there is there's this constant doing with a fiery Aries moon. It's like cardinal. It's initiating. It's like wanting to be in movement. So that's a great one for me. Okay, I'm going to practice the pause
Well,
more
also,
often.
way, and you could go to kickbox, like let it out. You could go to exaggerate the fire so you exhaust yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel so much when I am feeling down or whatever or getting frazzled, going for a walk, moving, getting exercise is one of the best ways to
Yeah.
but the breath is really helpful too. Yeah. Any Taurus secrets you wanna share?
Mm, I would say, Taurus is incredibly strong. It has tremendous will, and it needs to get up and moving. As we know, there's something with Taurus that's called there's a phrase that says the onward rush of the bull of God. So you've got to get a Taurus moon up and moving. You don't want to be the sitting bull. You want to be the one that's like, here I come. So there's pleasure and comfort, but it's gorgeous when a Taurus moon can actually motivate and move and engage and use its quiet strength.
I That is fantastic. So and that can help if you're feeling stuck. Think about how you can be that moving bull if you have a Taurus moon, because it's a wonderful moon to have. But yeah, it can get very comfortable in the way of being. And yeah, movement can be really helpful. Yeah. Any Gemini mysteries? I like the word mysteries. The Gemini moon.
Yeah. Well, with Gemini, and I always invoke sort of the opposite energy as the antidote, right? And
Oh,
and Gemini feels like it's doing its like when it's tricky, it's doing its dance of instability. It's there's
mhm.
muchness, right? And so there's something about like the choice of Sagittarius, the one arrow shot, if there's 7 pots on the stove, focus on one, right? So that some of the agitation can quiet down and you can prioritize the fire.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So there is a natural ability with Gemini to be dexterous and multitasking. And there's this need for stimulation with the Gemini moon or conversation. And oh, pick one thing, stick to it, go with it. And that can bring you
Yeah.
more calm and more clarity. I love that.
I mean, with all of these, of course, we can name the beauty of the sign, and you can
Yeah.
always towards the beauty of the sign and elevate that. So you could write, and you could write your way into calm, right? But we need to find the way to stop the inner nervous system agitation that can sometimes kick in with Gemini.
And this is so important because right now, Uranus has been in Gemini since July 7th, but later today it's going to go back into Taurus. So a Gemini moon watching this, who maybe takes this and brings in and picks something and focuses, may feel themselves calm down or feel calmer tomorrow. My boo has a Gemini moon. I'm going to be interested to see. I've noticed a change since it went in. We'll see how it goes when it Uranus is backed out into Taurus.
Little breath.
Yes. How about Cancer moons?
Cancer moons, oh, they're so tender and so beautiful. And I would invite the hardiness of Capricorn. I would invite the one structured choice, or I would put my own hand on my own back and I would say, you've got this. I would make a plan that feels really good if you're feeling the Cancerian moon tendency to disappear into your house or your body. I would give yourself like the skeleton of Capricorn.
I like this. Bringing in the opposite side is really a great antidote to what may ail us at times, especially with Jupiter and Cancer. I mean, this is help amplifying that energy of emotion, of needing security, of uh, all of the things, wanting comfort for anyone with a Cancer moon. And yeah, I love that energy of even being your own support system, kind of.
Best parent, your own kind parent. Yeah, like just like care for by steadying.
Yeah. And even like, I'm getting the image of even using a wall to support you or doing something where like you get into your body, but you're doing something challenging for it, like sitting against a wall down, like getting your core, focusing on your core, like getting it stronger. I'm going to do that, even though I'm not a Cancer moon. I'm a Cancer rising.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about Leo? Leo moods.
Yeah, I mean, let's keep going. Like, I would invoke Aquarius, and I
Mhm.
invoke, like, sometimes Leo moons are hesitant to shine forth, and sometimes they have no problem shining forth. So Aquarius brings in the community that like, find your community, find your people where you can either like show up and dare to give your gift, or whether you can show up and empower the community. I always love the practice of coming from the Aquarian circle to this Leo center and coming back out again, right? So there's this energy of uh, honoring both. And so the antidote to a Leo moon gone awry is call in your people and give your gift, and then let them give theirs.
Yeah, just and this is perfect with Mercury's going retrograde on Sunday. If you have a Leo moon, get out your Rolodex or whatever you want to call it and pick a few people maybe you haven't even talked to or seen for a while and try to make a connection and plan something and maybe something that with Jupiter and Cancer that can be helpful or generous or giving to like a charity or that could be something that could really make your Leo moon feel like you made a difference. You did something special, and yeah, you did something. You created something. So I think that could be a really beautiful way to use that energy.
I love
Yeah.
that. Today the moon's in Gemini, and you and I are connecting and building bridges. This is why I love the moon, because it's like, oh, today's a day that you can reach out and have a new conversation, which then ripples outward, and
Mhm.
ignites our lives in new ways. So following that energy of the moon and following little invitations is so key.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And with the Sagittarius energy in the sky too, I noticed today how much there was like a little joy in the air. Like I had these nice conversations with people on the street. this, this young man was telling me his story about how his difficulties finding a woman, and we had just this like short but powerful connection.
I love that Sag energy shift from Mercury and Mars in Scorpio to Mercury and Mars in Sag. I'm definitely feeling that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just enjoy this joyful piece of energy that we're having. Okay, Virgo, a Virgo moon, and this is one of the moons that really I want to give Virgo moons a hug and a nurturing because it's could be a lot, this energy with the South Node in this sign right now. Stirring it up.
I always think with a Virgo moon, like there's such an attention on the immediately present, like the service of the immediately present. It's like tend to everything, tend to all the details, fix everything, fix yourself. And I always just say, look up and out, go outside. And if there's not an ocean out there, look at the sky, like open to the Pisces allness, right? Because it's so easy to get stuck in the minutia. And there's beauty in the minutia, and there's beauty in the practice, and there's beauty in the devotion of Virgo. But when you get to that place, you can get so anxious. And so this opening to breath and to music and to our humanity, I just say get outside and look out, look up and out. That's what I think with the Virgo moon.
I love that. Get out in an open space if you can. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're inside, just
Yeah.
music. I love the idea. Just turning on music and trying to quiet your mind. Yeah, just be for a little bit. Even if it's just 5-10 minutes. It can like totally I think you can change your day in a couple of minutes by taking a practice that nurtures your moon and brings you back to center and helps you feel more in you, in your body, in your giving your it's like giving yourself a little nourishment.
Yeah, you and I both have Saturn conjunct the sun. We're both like, let's create a structure, and it can be a 5-minute structure, and it can change things if you show up and do it.
Absolutely. And our Libra friends who just recently had their birth, well,
Um,
Libra suns had their birthdays, but what about Libra moons?
when I was a kid, there was a game that was like Red Rover, send Celeste over. Do you remember?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
To me, like every Libra moon needs to be called over for a Red Rover, Red Rover. It's just like dare yourself to come forth. If you are in a space of indecision, if you're in a space of tentativeness, if you're in a space of wanting to keep the peace, dare yourself to just like take bold action. Dare yourself to break through the hands and say, here I am.
Dare yourself to make a decision and do something you want just for you.
Yeah. All of these signs, Celeste, of course, we can rely on the moon. Oh my gosh, Libra's moons are the peacemakers. There's so much beauty in Libra. You can rely on it, but in order to keep growing, we invoke the other energies to help it evolve.
And I like Libra Moon. To pull a tarot or an oracle card about what does my moon want me to know, because Libra likes to be in conversation, and this could be a conversation with your higher self, a conversation with your guides, a conversation, and whatever comes up will be something that really Yeah, it's going to be something that you just the right thing that you just needed to hear will be available to you.
I love the inner conversation. That's the first relationship, right? Like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, and Scorpio. Venus is in Scorpio today, so hopefully Scorpio moons are starting to feel some sweetness coming.
Uh, yeah, I just would invite trust through receiving beauty. Do you know, like,
Hmm.
so it sometimes is cautious about who it lets in, and it will hang back a little bit, and there's something about the Taurus energy that can soothe that through beauty, that can soothe that just through like just loyalty, even just I'm here and I'm touching you, and here's a beautiful bouquet of flowers. Like we can do that for ourselves too, right? Where we can let Scorpio come out of the luminous darkness into the light of day, and have a picnic, right?
Hmm. Hmm. What would a Taurus do? Scorpio, a Taurus would just trust and enjoy. Ask the universe to send you someone uh, that you can be yourself with, to give you a call, a text, a something, and they'll be there for you. I feel like with if you have a Scorpio moon, you can send out your bat signal. It's so funny. I had yesterday. I was doing a thing with one of my friends and collaborators, and it was my turn to do the recording and everything, and I was just thinking, oh, should I ask her to do it because I got so much on my plate. Da, 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 da. Do you know she called me?
Oh,
And then we were talking, and then it came up, and she did it. So that's like Jupiter in your rising sign. It was just, but I think a Scorpio moon could just call that in. It's available for you if you ask for it, if you believe
yeah,
that you could intuit and you could send that message and it'll come to you.
I love that. Yeah, yeah. Also,
Venus is in your sun, is in your moon sign. Believe it.
yeah,
You can attract that person to you. Yeah.
yeah, yes, beautiful. Yes.
Hmm. What about Sagittarius? That's a great mood.
Oh, yeah, Sagittarius is a great moon. It's just so, it's such the storyteller, isn't it? And such the optimist, and there's such a freedom in it, right? And I wonder if the invitation with the Sagittarius moon, who wants to be so free and wants to be so on pinned down, I wonder if a little bit of the Gemini invitation to build bridges and connect and have all the converse, like come back into the two-ness or something, or also the idea of Sagittarius has big ideas and Gemini says, well, you know let's write one of those stories, let's write one of those poems, let's create a syllabus for one of those classes, right? So there's something about Gemini that's very concrete in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gemini, it will be the scribe, it will write the story.
Yeah, I love that. Writing something could be great for a Sagittarius moon, but I also got like going on a journey. Just pick yourself out, walk out of the house, don't have a destination, or you can drive. I mean, it may be cold where you are, but just a little journey with no destination, and just let your heart, let your soul take you where it wants you to go. It might take you to Dairy Queen or the ice cream parlor, but that's all right.
A friend who, whenever she would travel a lot, and whenever she went to a new town and was going to be there for a little while, she said she would take a day where she would go out and she would just take lefts until she was lost. And she would just see where she ended up, and she would just have an adventure. And certainly the Gemini Sag polarity is about those little adventures, right? Like Sag big, but Gemini is the, like, let's go out for 2 hours and get lost.
Absolutely. Just wander somewhere. Wander somewhere. Yes. What about Capricorn? You have a Capricorn moon. What do you do to nourish your Capricorn moon?
I just practice expressing my feelings. Because a Capricorn moon is so good at staying so stoic and staying like, I'm in charge, I'll take care of it, I'll be the parent here. And so I just practice offering up what I'm feeling in any given moment, even if it makes me feel intensely vulnerable or makes me feel wobbly, because I know then that I'm going to receive a lot of I know that will make things better, but it's so hard to get to that place to just say, oh, I am a little girl and I'm a wise woman. Guess what? I'm both. There's no tyranny of identity here, right? I'm both. So I let my sort of more tender self have a say.
I think that's fantastic for a Capricorn moon. Yeah, allowing yourself to be emotional, be vulnerable, let someone else actually help you. That could be that could be a hard thing to do, but mm,
That's great. Yes. Finding the people, for a Capricorn moon to find your true people that you can trust to do the work like you're doing, that's a great thing. You feel relief, and then finding the people that you can also express what you're feeling in that's even better. I've got a couple.
uh-huh. I love that. Absolutely. And Aquarius?
Yeah, Aquarius, they're off on their unique journeys, and I love how they look at the world, with such perspective. I always say, like, with such a bird's eye view, and such an intelligence, such an incredible intelligence. And there's something about Leo, calling in Leo, that's a little bit like playful. And I always think of Leo with the sun at the center of your chest. You're coming in and you're like, you know, let's have a good time. Let's do something pleasurable. Let's dare to be visible as a unique human being. We don't always have to be disappeared into the circle.
Hmm.
So something about that Leo, that's again sort of like the childlike energy in a way, that doesn't always have to be in the kind of assessing or problem solving place.
That is really great. Yeah. Wow. Could you yeah. I'm trying to think what else would I say to an Aquarius moon at this time. Well, anyone with Aquarius moon, you're going through some kind of transformation, inner transformation with Pluto being in your sign. If you're at the end of the sign, Uranus is coming back to awaken you, finish some work up
Yeah,
with that internal tension, that internal square about what do you want to break free from. If you're towards the beginning, Pluto has been roto-rooting for the last 2 years, really bringing making you aware of your Aquarian nature, your nature of where do you feel like, is it the uniqueness of yourself, or do you feel exiled, or do you feel, yeah, I think just feeling the feels. What is it?
yeah.
Why did you come into this life with this Aquarius moon? How are you different from your family, from your early environment? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mm,
also just to think, Aquarius obviously rules astrology and
mhm,
learns about oneself. Who am I and what am I here to do and give, so that I can give to the collective, which feels like this very Leo. Astrology is such a great tool for knowing the self and being generous with the self.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And maybe thinking about what makes you unique, Aquarius moon. hmm and yeah, how are you contributing to this collective place? Because there's something very important about all our Aquarius placements at this time are being activated. If we have any. And last but not least, Pisces. And the North Node is in Pisces, amplifying that North Node, amplifying the Pisces moon energy. So,
Ah, Pisces is just an extraordinary sign. It's the sign of unconditional love. It's the sign
mhm,
understand our oneness, and then therefore can is want to escape or want to retreat, because it's a lot to feel and take in. And so, calling in Virgo to tend to one's own wellness, to tend to one's own physical, emotional, and mental wellness so that you can stand in this capacity to feel, So to call in rhythms in your day, to call in healing practices, to attune to what makes your day pleasurable and livable. It's like calling in very practical practices that allow you to feel in the way that you feel, and I mean, in that way, Virgo is so gorgeous because it just comes in and says, drink this cup of tea, give a walk and take a walk, meditate for 3 minutes, right? And it just helps Pisces practically ground.
Yeah, I think grounding could be the best thing for a Pisces moon at this time. Like sitting in a chair, dropping an anchor to the center of the earth can be really a helpful thing. And just, yeah, for a few minutes. And I love the Virgo, like, even if you have to schedule some routines at the same time every day, committing to do a certain something can help. Yeah, I can think it can help that Pisces moon. And I feel like also washing your energy, because I know Pisces moon are feeling the collective, and the collective is in a lot of chaos. So what can you do to call in your energy? And I love that, dropping an anchor uh,
I said,
to ground yourself, because it's a lot right now for all of us. And yeah, giving ourselves grace and others grace when we kind of lose it a little bit, especially with Mercury retrograde coming. I think, like, retrogrades pull back the tape so we can see what's underneath. So this is a great time to do some internal dialoguing and internal investigation or storytelling with of our own journeys. So I think through the moon, writing your own moon memo is a great thing you can do to connect with your inner self and your inner world. Hmm.
just like you and I both do. It's like if you love astrology or if you just want to be in tune with the energy, the moon is the perfect thing to follow. It's ever changing. You can plug in, you can see, how was today? Did I feel the Gemini? How did I feel the Gemini? Right? It's just an end
Hmm.
tool.
Yeah, it just helps. I mean, life just comes alive so much more, I feel like, when you're paying attention to the astrology and living with the rhythms of the energy and noticing, witnessing. Yeah, what did I witness today could be a great question.
Yes, always, always.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. Let's do a chart questions.
Oh,
Um, so you have this last quarter moon, and your sun is in Aries and your moon is in Capricorn. And so with the last quarter moon, that's like an old soul or a pilgrim kind of energy. Do you feel like this life did you come in with some kind of wisdom or something to wrap up, or how has that showed up in your life?
yeah. I mean, I think about it as a disseminating energy too. Um, and yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to uh, come into a lineage really, and learned astrology like a second language when I was 2 or 3. Right, I just started because my father was an astrologer, and so early on, I started to have that language and a way of looking at people and psychologically understanding people. And then also, I was called to as an artist as well. So my whole life has been a dance between the sort of spiritual and artistic realm. And yeah, I do feel like it's been almost a dumping bowl kind of energy, or like, okay, I'm learning something, I'm going to share it with you. I'm learning something, I'm going to share it with you. It's just like I always want to offer up what I understand. And I've had amazing teachers in my lifetime. And I think that's the responsibility when you have amazing teachers, is to just keep sharing it and seeing, continuing the lineage.
Oh, that is so cool. Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you, well, do you have any question for me? We should go back and forth.
Yeah, well,
Or
I
insight. It doesn't have to be a question. Is there any insight you can share with me about your chart? Something that my chart that jumped out at you?
well, was noticing all our, connections.
Yeah.
But I would love to ask you, because I have some thoughts about my own Saturn conjunct the sun in Aries, but like, how have you befriended Saturn? How has Saturn changed in your lifetime? How have you experienced it early on, and is it different now?
Saturn, I have Saturn to the same degree as my son, and I have a difficult father, so you can you can see that. But just being my own authority and recognizing it, like no one can crack the whip on me stronger than I do myself, and recognizing that and lightening up on myself. I think I've given myself an opportunity to be well, Uranus coming to my Saturn. I quit my corporate job. I released the duty, the expectation, yeah, and yeah, went on a journey.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I
that
love.
has been, and I feel like that Saturn is a gift. It's been a lot of support for me, even though it's difficult, like constantly pushing yourself to do more, do better, get me expert. Da, 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 da. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's so interesting, that Saturn, because my father was very important in my life. He died 3 years ago, and
Mm,
until he passed away, I couldn't have the relationship. I mean, that whole Saturn energy has changed in an interesting way. And it's interesting to have like a a beneficent father kind of energy can be just as complex as having a really difficult father, because it's like, how do you disentangle and how do you claim your own Saturn,
Yeah, yeah. I think I've claimed it, and I'm thankful for it. I mean, I've always been very responsible, and yeah, frugal to a point, and yeah. And my sister has Jupiter on her sun, so it's like we are so different. And that's been witnessing that has been like just assuming things will go okay, assuming someone's gonna rescue versus my like constantly, yeah,
my daughter
doing two.
daughter has Saturn on her sun at 29 degrees Leo, and I'm like, yeah, that's different than Saturn on your sun.
My sister's a Leo too, with Jupiter and Leo.
But that's moon in Cancer, so it's very interesting, that contrast. But that dance of Jupiter and Saturn is so fascinating.
It is really, absolutely. Let me see. What else would I ask you about? That last degree. So, how do you describe the anaretic degree? So, we both have my Jupiter's at 29 Libra. You have your Mars at 29 Libra. How do you describe, or how have you experienced that?
That Mars is so interesting in my chart because I'm an Aries, so it's the ruler. But it's in Libra, where it's not all that comfortable. And then there's an amplification in a way of that discomfort. And so, have I been a person that, loves to argue? No. Have I been a person that disrupt the peace? No. But I think the anaretic degree is interesting because I have always been a person that will use my vitality to forge beautiful, nourishing relationships. And I love to bring people together in the name of beauty or peace or growth. And so that 29th degree has intensified my desire to bring beauty through humanity talking with one another. Right. And then also that 29 degrees in my third house too, which is my writing. So when I write, it's about how can we treat one another better? How can we show up with more kindness? So I don't, I'm an Aries, but I've got Saturn on my sun. I've got Mars in Libra, so it definitely softens some of the punch of Aries.
Absolutely. Well, how does your Aries show up?
It's in my ninth house. I have always sort of dared myself to teach, and in esoteric astrology, Mercury is the esoteric ruler of Aries, so it has old ideas or new ideas and sharing ideas. And so, I lead things, I facilitate things. That's how I mostly experience it. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you're an authority. You're a teacher. Yeah, your moon notes help lead people and teach them and give them insights. I love that. Yeah, you have a great chart.
How do you
Yeah.
experience your Jupiter? How do you experience the anaretic degree? What is
Ah, I can be too much of a peacemaker at times. I am conflict avoidant. I have an Aries moon, but the Jupiter and Libra, yeah, sometimes a conflict avoidance or just going along to get along. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Last year, it started when my moon was eclipsed. Oh my God, that year I started.
uh, well, you the thing there. It's like the assertion of self, but wanting to maintain the equilibrium, wanting not to disrupt too much of the piece. Yeah, it's an interesting
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah. So yeah, learning how to recognizing that and still being mm, I think I've been like I've like disrupted that with
Yeah.
the Jupiter Uranus conjunction, like disrupting the need to keep the peace or concern about, oh, what are people going to think of yeah, yeah, a real desire and like wanting calmness, harmony, fairness. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big internal drive. Hmm.
Yeah. Feel
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And that last degree, there's always a crisis related to the planet and the sign. And I have been divorced, having Jupiter and Libra at the 29th degree. Yeah, a crisis of relationship. And uh,
Oh, I haven't heard it exactly that way, and I really like that. That's very interesting.
hmm hmm
My Mars crisis.
Yeah. Well, I wondered with your Mars, like when you get in the zone writing, is it hard for you to stop?
um, yeah, like I like to I've for the last 20 years I've always like taken myself away for sort of mini retreats, and that's my favorite thing, to take myself away and just write and write and write and write. I
Hmm.
also though do write in short bursts sometimes too, which is very Aries. I'm like, I wrote a poem, okay, good, or I wrote for 20 minutes and that's good. But when I take myself away for these kind of more contemplative, spacious, kairos time kind of times, and then I just write, and it's some of my favorite times.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Oh my goodness. It has been so fun talking to you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights about the moon. I love how you brought in the opposite sign as medicine for your moon to lean into that. And yeah, just sharing uh, I just find like, I feel like my energy is really calm after our conversation. This has just been warming and heartwarming. Can you tell people how to find you?
Yeah, thank you. Just HeidiRose.com, or at Heidi Rose Robbins on Instagram, or the Moon Notes. And yeah, I've loved talking with you too, Celeste. We have so many fabulous overlaps in our chart. I'm not surprised. So, but but total joy. So thank you so much.
Well, I hope we get to meet in person sometime. Are you going to UAC or?
I'm not. I did just go to the Living Astrologies conference in Santa Fe, which was so wonderful.
Mm.
I might actually. I just said I'm not, but I may. It's in May. Is it in May? It's a
It's September 3rd through 9th, I think, are the exact dates. I should know. So I'm on the committee planning it. But anyway, it's the United Astrology Conference, the biggest in the world. It's happening next year in Chicago. It's going to be an amazing, amazing event for anyone who's interested in astrology, whether you're a student or a professional. It can be getting together with like-minded people, learning new things. Just the spirit, the community is what I'm going to have the most fun with.
It's so funny because I will just say to you, I answered that so quickly because, again, like I have been in this sort of separate world of esoteric astrology, which again I love, but suddenly, like, oh, I'm like all these other conferences. So you know what? Let's just say we're going to meet, if not before, in September.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, check out Heidi's work. You're also welcome to check out my work. I'm at astrology by Celeste everywhere. Have a beautiful weekend. Mercury's going retrograde, so do the RE words and mum's the word. Take good care.
You. Bye.
Bye.